Hello beautiful people, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Lexi. In this video, I sound disgusting and I'm sorry for that. I am battling a bit of a cold, I guess. I don't know if it's a cold. I feel like fine physically. My throat is just a little bit sore and I think it's mostly from stress. So I don't know what's happening with that, but I'm doing okay. I just sound disgusting. So I do apologize. I am drinking plenty of hot tea and lots of tomato soup, so hopefully it gets better, but for now this is what we're working with. Today I am going to be discussing my mostly December but overall like winter break TBR, I guess. I did not do a reading wrap-up for November, as you might have noticed, because I was much busier than I anticipated, and I only read about 2 books, which I've done wrap-ups on that before, but I didn't feel like dedicating an entire video to the 2 books that I read, because one of them I'm going to talk about in another video later anyway, and the other one was, I don't know, it would basically be a wrap-up about 1 book, and I don't feel like doing that. So I will just wrap up last month in this month's wrap-up, which will hopefully be a lot more efficient. And I will of course have an end of the year wrap-up video as well, which will be super fun, but this is my winter break, mostly December TBR. I'm very excited. A lot of standalones this month actually, because I don't want to have to lug entire series home and then bring them back. It's just a hassle that I don't feel like dealing with. So I've got, I think, 5 books total on this list, and I think they're all standalones. I might be mistaken, but without any further ado, let's hop right into it. The first book on my December TBR list is Kingdom of the Wicked. So they're not all standalones because I have this right here behind me on my shelf. I've been meaning to read it forever. Cassandra loves this book. She's been telling me to read it, so I want to read it. It sounds right up my alley, and I'm very excited to read it, so that is next up after I finish Clockwork Princess. However, I don't have the rest of the series, and my book buying ban is still on. It does not apply, so even if I do finish it, I will have to wait to read the rest of the series later, but I will get around to it eventually. The main thing is I want to read it because I'm very excited, and hopefully I do enjoy it, because I've heard the last book of the series is questionable, but we shall see. I think I'll love it. I'm very excited, so that is next up. It's not technically a standalone, but I will be reading it like one because I don't have the rest of the series. Next up on my list is back here. Most of these are up here on this top shelf. Is These Violent Delights. I have no particular reason why I want to read it. I've seen it circulating around BookTube and BookTok a lot, and I've heard good things about it. It sounds pretty interesting. It's about like a gang, I think. So I think it will be fun. It's definitely different than what I normally read. However, I think I will still find it very enjoyable, and I just want to read it because it's on my shelf, and I'm trying to read everything that's on my shelf. After that, this is probably the one that I'm least excited about on this list, but that is Book of the Night, also up here, by Holly Black. You know, if you've been on this channel for any amount of time, you know how I feel about The Cruel Prince. I might end up giving it another shot because Cassandra really liked it, but I haven't read it in many years, so my tastes might have developed and changed. I don't know. I just had a hard time following it. I didn't love it, but I decided to pick up this book because A, the cover is gorgeous, B, I wanted to try reading a different series by Holly Black and seeing if it's just her writing that I don't like, or if it's the books, the Cruel Prince books themselves. I don't know. We're gonna read it and find out. Hopefully I like it. I don't know, we'll see, but I'm very nervous about it, and I question my sanity every day. After that, this was kind of another recommendation by Cassandra, but not really, because I already had it on my shelf when she recommended it to me, and that is Lore back here. I picked this book up because I'm absolutely 100% obsessed with Greek mythology, and it sounded really cool, and I got it from Walmart, because I just saw it and I was like, yes, give me this book. And then I never read it. I always meant to, but there were other books that I wanted to read first. But since I am doing my full shelf read through, I believe it's about time. Cassandra loved it, which makes me much more excited to read it. And I think it'll be super fun. I'm very excited to pick that one up. Just based on what I've heard about it, it sounds like it'll be right up my alley. Super fun. I'm excited to get it read and go on that journey with that book. So thanks, Cass, for hyping it up for me. Finally, on this list for my personal TBR is The Stormcrow, which is once again on the top shelf. This is another standalone that I picked up mostly because I had heard a bunch about it, and I don't have any particular reason why I picked it up other than I thought it sounded cool. So here we are. I'm gonna read it. This is one that I'm also not like super duper excited for, but it's on my shelf and I want to get it read. And I think it'll be good. I think I will enjoy it. It's just not one that I'm super duper hyped for. Now, these are books that I have read, but I think would be a really cool addition to y'all's winter TBRs. They're not on my own personally, but they're very wintry vibes and I love them. I think they would be great. I do think the Raven Cycle is a good series to add to your winter TBR. It's very adventurous and it is kind of hefty. Not really, they're right back here. As you can see, they're like mid-sized books, but reading the whole thing can take quite a chunk of time. So it's great for cozy indoor time reading with a cup of hot cocoa. I think I don't know, they just very wintry vibes to me, much more winter than summer. And I loved the series. I think it's super fun. If you like Welsh mythology, you'll enjoy them, I believe. They're fun. I love Maggie Stiefvater's writing. It's great. You should pick up that series. Another series that I would also recommend for your winter, really for any time, but this is again one that feels wintry to me, is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. I love, love, love this series. I talk about it so much on here, I know, but it feels great for winter. Not necessarily cozy vibes, but I don't know. It just feels like something that I would read during winter. Maybe because I did read it during winter the first time I read through it, so I just have that association in my mind for it. But I think Six of Crows is a great winter read, whether you're reading it the first time or giving it a reread, which you should absolutely do because it's always hilarious and it never gets old. It's great. I love Six of Crows. Finally, for suggestions, and I know these are all series, even though mine is only standalones, which is kind of funny, but my final suggestion, this is probably a reread for most of you, if not all of you. However, if you have not picked it up, I do recommend. I am also currently in the middle of this series, so, well, I say in the middle. I'm about 100 pages away from finishing the last book, but I guess I'm in the middle of reading this series in particular, and that is the Infernal Devices series by Cassandra Clare. It is, I believe, her second set of books set in the Mortal Instruments world. It takes place in like the 1800s, I believe, late 1800s, early 1900s-ish, I think. Victorian era. It's kind of very steampunk vibes, and it feels kind of wintry to me. Again, probably just because I'm reading it at this time of year, but that's the vibe I get from it. It has cozy moments, although it's not necessarily a cozy book, but it's definitely one you can, or books, I suppose, but it's definitely a series that you can just sit with for a long time. And it gets much better as it goes along. The first book I wasn't super crazy about, but I am absolutely engrossed in the last book, and I can't wait to finish it, which I will probably be doing shortly after I finish recording this. And so far I'm loving my time with it, so definitely add that to your winter TBRs. That is actually going to wrap up this video. It was probably a short one, but that's okay. TBRs aren't usually too substantial to talk about, and I don't want to ramble on forever. But But I do hope this video was entertaining for you guys, informative. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you are having a wonderful fall/winter transition period. Happy holidays. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank y'all so much for watching. You should like the video because it's easy, comment because it makes me smile, subscribe for more content just like this, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye guys.